Michelle with Pink and Maine. Thanks for joining me today. We're going to make some cards with the Love You stamp and dies. For our first card, I'm using the little chick in the stamp set. And the thing I love about the stamp set is these little critters are so adorable, and they've got these super long exaggerated legs, which makes them really whimsical and cute. So I've got everything cut out here, and this card is going to be kind of like a card sketch type card. We've got different elements just to add color and interest and dimension, and I've got everything cut out for us. I stamped the sentiment, I hope this card puts a little spring in your step, and I've got that cut out. So let's start adhering some of these layers. This card is an A2 size card. It's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 when folded. It's a top folding card, so it's more vertical. I've cut some layers to add to the front of the card with our layered rectangle dies, the A2 set. They're perfect for A2 cards. You get lots of layering dies in there. The papers that I'm using, the pattern papers, are from our Happy paper pad, and they've got really pretty, just bright, cheerful colors. Now I've added just a couple of strips of paper and pattern paper and a little hint of glitter paper. This is our new glitter paper, and that's the white, and it's really sparkly. And the glitter doesn't shed, so it's really nice and easy to use. And there is the base of our card. I cut out a circle with our stitch circle dies. I just cut some different sizes, strips of cardstock in the colors that are in the pattern paper here, just to add some interest. Now let's add our adorable little chick. Now all I have to do is add the sentiment. I've stamped and cut out a little flower to put up here with her little tuft of feathers. And here's our card, but it wouldn't be complete without some of our glitter enamel dots. These are called Happy Mail glitter enamel dots, but they go with our Happy paper pad. There, and there's our first card. I think that's sweet. For our next card, we're gonna make a slimline card. So my slimline card base is 8 1/2 by 3 1/2 when folded. So I have a white card base. With our plaid slimline die, I love this die. It makes a perfect background for so many different cards. You can use it with everything from cute critters to beautiful florals, and it just looks nice. So I've cut that out of pink cardstock, and I'm gonna adhere that to my card base. I'm using our Easy Squeeze craft glue, which is perfect for this type of die because you've got these really thin lines. And with this glue, you can get a super thin line of glue, or you can get it a little thicker, just depending on how hard you squeeze. And that plaid slimline die also measures 8 1/2 by 3 1/2, so it fits perfectly on the dimension of the slimline card. Next, I've cut out 2 ovals, one in gray and one in our beautiful white glitter paper. And I'm gonna layer those together, and this is gonna highlight our little lamb that we're using on the card. The ovals were cut with our layered oval dies, and you get lots of different layering sizes in that set to give you nice layered pieces. I want this to kind of be offset on the card. I don't want it to be in the center. So I'm going to glue it down, and then I'm going to cut the extra overhang off. The next thing we're going to do is add our little lamb, and he or she once again is a really cute little critter with super long legs. I've stamped and colored a couple little flowers to put down at their feet. They're just standing amongst the flowers, and then I'm gonna adhere the sentiment. So I stamped the sentiment and cut out this little flag type background, and then I just layered it in gray to make it pop off the background of the card a bit. And there you have our super sweet little slimline card with that adorable little lamb or you. For our next card, we're using the cute bunny rabbit. And I've cut some layering pieces, again with our layered rectangle dies, for an A2 size card, a top folding card again. And I'm just going to adhere these down to our card base. Another reason I love using our Easy Squeeze craft glue is when you're adhering layering pieces down like this, you have a few seconds to lay it down and then shimmy it a little or shift it to get it just where you want it. For the next piece, I've cut out a white cardstock with our mod stitched rectangle dies. So these have two rounded corners and two straight edge corners. So it just creates kind of a little modern twist on the rectangle. And I've also run this piece through my die cut machine with our polka dot embossing folder. Give a little bit of extra dimension to the card. And now we'll add the bunny rabbit. There, we put him off to the side, and you can see he fits perfectly on this A2 size card, but also with our other card, you can see they work perfectly for slimline cards because they're the nice long size. We're gonna give the little bunny rabbit a carrot. And I've stamped the sentiment Happy Easter, and we're gonna add that as well. And to finish this card off, I'm gonna add a couple more of these glitter enamel dots. There we have another cute little card. It's sweet and simple. For our last card with the Love You stamp set, we are going to make a shaker card. So we're going to use the bunny rabbit with our Happy Easter again. With our layered stitch line dies, I cut out this teal layered piece that's going to go in the background. And with our stitch circle dies, I just cut out some different size circles just to create some interest in the back of the card, make a nice background, but it kind of flows, and it's got just the theme of the circles going on here. So I'm going to glue my circles down to the background so that I can trim off any areas where they go off the edge of the paper. Now I have my background piece, and I can glue it down to my card base. I stamped out the sentiment Happy Easter, and I want that to go inside of my shaker frame. So I'm going to glue that down towards the top. I want to consider where my rabbit might go. I'll put it there. And I left a little extra white on this side because I don't want a frame to cover up the sentiment. Now all shaker cards need a frame or something on top to hold all the little sequins or the little bits and pieces that you put inside the shaker. So I've cut out this frame from one of our Slimline dies. We have a set that has this inner scallop frame. And I've glued the acetate piece, or you can use like clear packaging material that you have left over. That's always good to use as well. But I've glued that to the back of my frame, and then completely around the frame I have added foam adhesive. You want something that lifts it up a little bit because you want to give room for everything to move around inside the shaker card. So I have our frame ready. I have our base. I think I'm ready to add all the little bits and pieces inside the shaker. One thing I want to do with this one is add some of our glitter enamel dots. It just gives a little more interest, and they will stay in place, whereas the other sequins will move around. So there I've added some enamel dots throughout the inside of the card. And sometimes with shaker cards also, especially since we have such a large area that the sequins are going to shake and move around, when you hold the card up to look at it kind of vertically, all those sequins are going to fall down to the bottom. So I want to add little dots of glue here and there just to kind of catch a few of the sequins so that you have some sparkle and shine throughout the card no matter what direction you're holding the card. Now I'm going to add the sequins onto our card base. I like a lot of sequins, so I'm going to add this whole package, and then I'm just going to kind of move them around the card so they're not quite as bulky there in the center. But once you put the frame down, they're going to shake and move around, so I just don't want them too thick there in the middle. So you want to keep them within where the frame is going to adhere down, and you want to make sure your foam adhesive goes completely around the frame. You don't leave any holes or openings because those sequins will then like shake right out of the card. Okay, now I'm ready to adhere this down. Once I have it in place, I want to press it down all the way around. You want to completely press that adhesive so you don't have any holes or openings on the side where the sequins can escape. So now we have a fun shaker card full of sequins. Isn't that fun? That looks fun just like that. But I want to add our little bunny rabbit to the outside. So we're going to add him down here. And he's got the whole little shaker card behind him. Really cute. And here's our completed shaker card. It's a Slimline shaker card. So I hope you've enjoyed creating with me today with our Love You stamp set and coordinating dies. These adorable little critters in this stamp set with their exaggerated long legs are super sweet and whimsical, and they make adorable Easter cards, spring cards, as well as cards that you can use year-round. Thanks again for joining me, and until next time, keep living the creative life.